I want to say thanks again and welcome back. For those of you that I see look familiar, and to our newbies, welcome to the eDirectory webinar. Today we're going to be talking about 10 tips for success. We have a great blog article about this, and we're going to go over some of these in greater detail together today. So if you guys have any issues hearing me, just please feel free to pop a message into the chat. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to pop those questions into the chat. We're going to get to all of the questions within about 24 to 48 hours after the webinar. So let's go ahead and we'll get started here. I'm hoping you guys can all see my screen okay. All right, so we're going to start out with our introductions. You have myself, Marco Bizzari here, and my teammate Emerson Travellini manning the back end, making sure that we're going to keep things up and running. Oh, loud and clear. Thank you, Wayne. And Wayne, welcome back. You always have some great questions, so I'm really looking forward to your questions today too, making us earn our salt here at eDirectory. And by the way, we're going to be sending a recording of the webinar to everybody. That way, for those of you that weren't able to participate, or I understand some of you are at the office multitasking, you're going to be able to review this webinar after the fact on your own time. That way you can get all the advantages of taking part here today as well. All right, excellent. Well, we're looking forward as well too. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're really happy about clickmeeting.com. It's a fantastic platform, and you're going to be seeing some new things that we're going to be doing here, mixing it up a little bit. Greg, welcome, your first one. Thank you so much for taking part. Nicholas, we chatted earlier today. Great to have you here. Thanks so much for visiting. Let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and make a little note to my teammates here. I'm going to ask them to keep it down just a little bit. It's kind of loud. So, all right. But again, want to be able to everyone to see all of our teammates here at eDirectory Brazil. Everyone coming back from lunch. Really happy about being able to share with everybody. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to get started with a couple of special offers that we have for you visiting us today. We always want to make sure we reward participation. So many of you offer really great ideas and questions that it just keeps us on our toes, keeps us trying to learn more. Next, we're going to go into the 10 steps for success. Those are going to be outlined slide by slide. I'm going to talk a little bit about each step for success. Of course, we can go into all these things for hours and hours on end, but I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for us to get started and dive in on what we understand to be tips for hitting the fast track with your success, with a successful revenue generating directory here. So, Mile High City checking in. Daniel, fantastic. I know you recently signed up, so very happy to have you aboard. Welcome aboard, Daniel. Thank you for joining the eDirectory family. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide here. So again, connect with us at eDirectory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We have our knowledge base for you guys to get all kinds of information. So stay in touch. We're constantly adding new videos into the YouTube platform. Facebook, we're going to be starting out with some new special offers and some promotions on Twitter. London locked in and loaded. Welcome, James. That's great. So yeah, so be sure to connect with us. We're always doing things to let people know what's going on, what's coming up on the horizon. We're constantly updating the platform, so we've got some things that we're working on for the next cycle we think you're going to love. So stay connected, lots to learn, and we are in an endless endeavor to continue learning here at eDirectory, and we hope that you are too, because if you're not learning, something's wrong, right? All right, so we do have some special offers for you that are taking part in our webinar today to get started. For those of you looking to launch your site, you're going to have an opportunity to get our cloud license or source license at a great deal, as well as 33% off any subscriptions. For active customers, even customers looking to get started, we've got great deals on onboarding plans, 50% off at the mod store, great way to add some additional features and functionalities. And for those of you hosting multiple sites on our platform, definitely want to make sure you take advantage of dedicated hosting. So many benefits to having dedicated hosting. And if you have any questions about any of these, you can always check in with your account executive. I know they'll be more than happy to have a call with you to discuss which options might work best for your specific account. And for new clients looking to get started, feel free to take advantage. If anybody recently signed up and sees one of these discounts that are a little lower, just let us know. We don't want to leave a bad taste in anyone's mouth with signing up and now you have a less rate. So we'll be able to offer some some Monster credits for you to be able to add some new features and functionalities to your site. So, hey, we're always ready to make a deal that works best for our clients. We just ran a new promotion, name your own price. So let your account executives know you want to make a deal, you want to add some functionalities. We're always here, always happy to help. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started now into the 10 tips to creating successful revenue generating online directories. Now, there's probably 20 tips I can go about making a directory website successful. We're going to focus on these 10, and of course, we want to make sure we get your feedback afterwards. You'll be able to respond to marketing@edirectory.com with any ideas, things that we can do better. And I think that lends a lot of credence into this first point here, which is patience. So a lot of you have been very patient with us with our webinars, and so now that we have this new platform, we're going to really expand upon it. But being more focused with our directory websites, with any website you're going to launch, whether it's e-commerce based, directory business model, patience is definitely a virtue. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Chances are there are going to be some things that you need to understand in order to be as effective as possible with the platform, right? So the eDirectory platform can do so much, and it is designed to handle a lot of your day-to-day operations so that you can focus on the activities that are going to make you money, that are going to make you successful, the things you really want to be doing, right? Like partnerships, social media, promotions, reaching out for sponsorships. So in having that in mind, I think it's a great thing that it's the first step, because it does allow you to kind of take a step back and make sure you understand how your site works, that mastering the software is one of the most important things to do. There's a learning curve with every software you're going to take on. So just be patient as you get familiar with all the features and functionalities. The platform can do so much for you. So the faster you master it, the more you're going to be able to utilize all of the features and functionalities available to you. But you do want to make sure you get set up properly. You want to take advantage of your training sessions. You want to take advantage of the knowledge base, the Getting Started video series. They've recently been redone to create a better journey where it's organized in a sort of order of operations that are going to help you get your site up and running as quickly as possible with all the essentials, right? So again, as far as patience, we want to make sure that it's understood. Oops, let me move that over to here. That way I can keep track on the side here with what we got going on. So with that in mind, oops, sorry about that. So with that in mind, you want to make sure that you have a good idea of which social media platforms are going to work for you. Certainly not all of them are going to be applicable to your business, but to be able to understand exactly how you're going to get things set up, what your plan of attack is going to be, knowing that you're going to have your site set up to suit your best interests, and that your site is an evolving entity, right? Your website will never be completed. If Facebook waited until they were what they are today as far as features, they would have never launched. They would have missed the train, right? So with that said, at eDirectory, we're here to grow with you. We have an in-house custom development team. Your needs will change and grow as you get valuable feedback from your members early on. And we're here to take those steps with you to get you the site that works best for you and your specific community. We also have onboarding plans, a number of different services to make sure you have the specific help that you need when getting started. So we'll be sending these resources afterwards. That way you have a little bit more information available to you so you can make the best decision possible about growing with your site and growing with eDirectory. And most importantly, growing your online community. All right, so that talks about patience. Good thing to understand, to keep in mind, but that doesn't by any means mean that you have to go about anything slowly. It's just more of a means of understanding a little bit more that this is a marathon, it's not a sprint, right? So that takes us to step number 2. Yes, Miguel, that's based on our blog article. Very good, I love that. We got all kinds of great items in our blog. And any tips or things you'd like us to write more about, we'd always be happy to do those too. All right, so step number 2, doing your homework. So it's important to do some online research about the business and industry that you're in. I think this is probably best applicable to competitive analysis, right? But more importantly, you want to follow not just your competitors to see what they're doing. Sure, you can take a page out of their book for promotions that they do, get some inspiration. A lot of times there's really no need to recreate the wheel. There's things out there that work. You can do the same thing. Um, but as long as you're open to constantly learning, reviewing, researching what people are doing in your industry, not only for promotional events, but for other types of content that they share that might work well for you. Uh, Following people in your industry that you're not even necessarily competing with, but maybe they have a similar business model. Um, Knowing how your industry is moving and growing gives you an opportunity to be at the forefront, to do things that are innovative and creative. And I think by researching your competitors too, you can find things and get gems of inspiration that might work well for you that are kind of different from what they're doing, but you put your own spin on it. You have your own brand, and with the platform, you can do so many things to really make it work well for you. So doing your homework's really important. You know, we want to understand who are the other players in our industry. What are they doing that's working well for them? What are they doing that you don't want to do? Sometimes that's even more valuable than finding something that you essentially want to do yourself. Is, hey, you know what? That's definitely not going to work for me. So knowing what doesn't work actually helps you understand what you're going to be focusing on too. So do your homework, do your research. You know, there's so much out there available for you to really educate yourself that I highly recommend doing this, because it's going to give you so many more opportunities to bring your unique vision to life on your site by having ideas for promotions or advertisements or social media, what you're going to share as far as content and articles. We're going to get to content in a little bit, but do your homework. There's so much to learn and so much to apply that if you have that mindset, you know, even if it's investing 20, 30 minutes a week to make sure you're staying up on top of what's out there, it's a great benefit, and we've seen a lot of clients be very successful by working that into their research, right, to their time management. Develop a strong value proposition, number 3. So I think this one's incredibly underrated as well, because you know, once you've done your homework, you kind of now have the opportunity to understand where you can fit in your specific industry, right? So let's say you have the leader in your specific industry that focuses on X. You know, maybe, hey, you don't want to compete with them on X, but maybe you want to build more on Y, right? So in defining your value proposition, you really want to understand what role you're going to play, and that's going to help you define what your niche is, where you can specialize within that market to be as effective as possible. So sometimes within your industry, you don't necessarily have to compete with people directly. You can create a niche for yourself by identifying maybe areas of the market that are fragmented or underserved and focusing on those. The great thing about your directory platform is that it can be as focused and as targeted as you need, down to a local level, to an international directory, which we have a lot of clients that have those too, where they have a certain segment that they fit that applies to all markets everywhere. So in knowing what your value proposition is, and knowing where you stand, and knowing how you're going to serve your clients, what advantages you bring to the table, maybe it's the way you treat your customers, maybe it's the voice that you have, maybe it's the content that you share. Knowing what your value proposition is and building that effectively is going to make it a lot easier for you to make those decisions on a day-to-day basis that bring your brand forward and carry you along that journey that you have, right? That also, I think, ties a lot into goal setting, you know, creating milestones. If you haven't already, we have an eDirectory launch plan. It's a free resource. There's also a marketing guide too. We'll be sending that to everybody. Great ways to kind of understand who your website serves as far as members and users. So you have to keep in mind, when growing your site, there are those two different, very different participants on your site, right? So you have the members of your site that are listing and adding great content to your community, and you have the users that are visiting to absorb that content, to search and get to know people in your community. Is there a private forum with other directory owners? Great question, Carol. We were actually thinking about starting a LinkedIn group recently with other directory owners to be able to get some dialogue going. So I'm actually gonna. Oh, yes. Okay, great. So it looks like that's a positive feedback, positive affirmation that we should probably do that. So I'm gonna make a note here with my teammate Emerson. Miguel likes it too. Let's go ahead and start a LinkedIn group so we can get some directory owners talking and create a community. All right, Wade likes that too. That's great. Hey, we also have a community forum mod, which is a great way to add a community forum to your directory so you can keep the dialogue on your site. Um, and I'm going to ask a little question about which one of your favorite mods are, and we're going to offer a little special deal for that too, based on whichever one you guys vote you like the most. So we're going to get to that as well. LinkedIn or Facebook private group. All right, so we got some good ideas there. I like the idea of a LinkedIn group. A lot of professionals, and it's a little bit more geared towards people in the moment, thinking in that sort of mindset of, how they can better themselves. So thank you, Carol, for that. Excellent recommendation. We're going to go ahead and put that on the map, and that is the exact reason of these webinars. We want to know what's important to you guys so that we can follow in those best practices. And I think that's a good tie-in to developing a strong value proposition. All right, so establish a brand. We're going to move on to number 4, LinkedIn more professional, business-minded. I was thinking the same thing, Chris. Very good. Thanks, Carol. All right, so we love it. We're getting some good activity here. So establish a brand. Developing a brand is similar to putting a personality on your business or project. And I think this is incredibly important because it's going to help you define a voice for your brand, which is going to help when you're writing content, when you're posting on social media, when you're working with influencers and bloggers and other people that could be complementary to your directory, right? So let's say if we had a ski resort directory and we wanted to reach out to some professional skiers or some bloggers about ski equipment, by having an established brand, you know exactly what you are in the essence of. Let's say if your website was a person, how they would act, how they would talk. Are they funny? Are they professional? Are they conservative? Are they modern? So having a brand, I think, goes a really long way for creating a site that's going to work best for your specific online community. Because at eDirectory, we launch directories for any industry or purpose, and it's so exciting to see what people use our platform for. And your industry is going to be different from clients in other industries where certain brand values are be different. So it's something to keep in mind. It's something that you definitely want to make sure you have established because it's going to make so many other things easier, right? So even down to customer service, how you respond to inquiries, how you sell leads to members on your site, all really boils down. And the less you have to think about, essentially, the easier things are. So when you say, okay, this is my brand, this is how we behave, this is how we talk, this is how we do things, now there's less things to think about. When the time comes, you need to take action. It's a lot more focused, right? Nicholas, forum, where? So Nicholas, we're going to actually start a LinkedIn group so we can have all of our directory owners collaborating, talking, sharing ideas. I think it's a fantastic idea. We do have a community forum mod in the marketplace. It's, I think, one of the top 2 there. So if you're looking to add a forum to your directory site for that exact same purpose, we can help you with that, and we'll send out a special deal for everybody here. If they vote the community forum mod as their favorite, but I'll probably send you a special deal anyways. So can the forum mod be plugged in for members only? Greg, great question. That's actually on the development horizon for the next cycle, is to be able to create members only functionality. So I might have to get back to you on that. I'm going to take we're going to be able to pull the chat transcript from here and answer any other questions. So I'm going to make sure that we also take a separate note of that because I know that's been coming up a lot lately. All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. We understand the value of establishing a brand. So listings. Listings are the building blocks of your directory and the bulk of the data that will drive future visitors and sponsors. You should heavily, but honestly, populate your directory as best as you can. So for a lot of clients just barely getting started, you obviously want to have a few listings on your directory. Now, for those of you that are, let's say, migrating from an existing project into our platform and you already have an active community or you already have listings, or perhaps through your professional experience, you've already got a ton of contacts that you want to be a part of your directory. Let's say it's a directory for a very specialized type of engineer or architect or any sort of niche service provider where you've got a lot of contacts, right? A great way to not only get familiar with your platform and adding listings, you can kind of see how your members will actually do specific things. So when they ask for help, you can do it yourself. Um, the listings engine is great because once you set up all your membership levels and you define what people get for what they're going to pay for, essentially how much visibility they're going to get on your site for that specific membership level that they have, you're going to be able to understand, well, the claim listing feature is immensely popular and very powerful because it kind of eliminates a step for them having to go and build it themselves. So let's say there's somebody that you really have on your radar, a couple of entities you really want on your site. Go ahead and build their listing for them. Take some examples, some pictures, some photos, maybe some of their links on YouTube, and that'll make it a lot easier for them to visualize how they're going to be a part of your community, how they're going to be able to share all kinds of great content. So with the claim listings feature, you can actually invite them to claim their listing. You can even work out a great email template. I found some interesting ones some clients were using, saying, hey, people are asking about you on our site. Go ahead and claim your free listing or claim your paid listing. You want to make it as non-aggressive as possible because everyone's constantly getting reached out to for all kinds of things. But hey, people are asking about you on our directory. We'd love for you to claim your listing. There's a free option, And hey, by the way, once they get in, hey, we're doing a special offer for our first 100 members, 50% off of the premium listing, or free banner ads for 2 months. Or if you refer a friend, I'll add free account management setup. You have so many tools and tricks and promotional opportunities within the platform that you can use. Free upgrades. Upgrade your first free 25 members. Why not? Make them your brand ambassadors. Help them galvanize and help leverage your members to grow your community. If your members start sharing their listings on their social media, it's actually driving traffic to your directory as well. So important to keep in mind of your listings, know how they work, know how the claimed listing feature works, and take advantage. You have it there to use, and I'd say you got to do a little bit of everything to really get off to a great start, or at least create as many opportunities as possible so you can be as successful as possible. All right, we got some questions. The bulk listing template makes it a quicker process. That's true. You can bulk import. Can the claim listing option be turned off? Yes, you can turn that off. Sometimes when you're creating a listing, like an individual listing, and absolutely that person's going to be claiming that listing, you don't want anyone else to claim it, you can turn that off, no problem. So we have you covered there. Also, a great feature, and it's part of our Getting Started video series, is listing types. Do not miss out on the feature of listing types. You can create your own listing types in the directory. Let's say, for example, you have a directory of restaurant suppliers, right? And one of those restaurant suppliers are, let's say, kosher foods or organic foods, right? Well, you might want to have a listing type that's specific for, let's say, food suppliers. And with the listing types feature, and we'll send that in a follow-up email here. Let me just take a note, because that's a great video. We just did it, and I think it has so much value, the listing types feature. You can even charge clients a one-time fee for that special listing type, right? So again, the listing types, there may be certain questions, there may be certain types of information your users want to know about those types of members. For example, well, when you watch the video, they give some great examples, but let's say if it was for doctors, you want to know, do they accept a special type of insurance? If they're architects, are they willing to fly to your job site to excavate? It's a yes or no question, drop downs, multiple choice, even simple text. So take advantage of that. I think it really helps with the listings feature. We're going to move on. I know I went a little bit long on that one, but I think you're going to love it. So SEO. Now, there are so many things to take into consideration with search engine optimization. There is no magic bullet, I'll tell you right now. The algorithms for search engine optimization are constantly changing, what ranks, what doesn't, penalties, things like that. But don't worry about all that, because that's not what you want to be focusing on. You don't want to be focusing on the big scary elephant. You want to be focusing on the steps that you can take to make sure you're getting the most value for your SEO. And I'll tell you this, a directory website is very unique as far as SEO, because you again can really leverage your members. The more your site grows, the more content they're adding, the more videos, articles, those are all SEO rich details. So as your site begins to grow and you add more members, know that your platform is going to help you do that. Now, with SEO, I'll tell you right now, the most important thing is content. Content is king. You know, you're expected to be an expert in what you're doing. You have a website, and chances are you know a lot about the industry that you're in. And even if you don't, there are so many resources out there you can learn from. Again, keeping tabs on, you know, who your competitors are, the kinds of things they're sharing will really help you define, you know, your production on content, things that you're sharing. But again, you can also encourage your members to continue sharing more content. So every month, you know, you send your newsletter, hey guys, don't forget to add great articles so people can get to know you, so that they can make the best decision when choosing one of their providers. And more importantly, so that they can share in your community and adding more things that are going to help you rank. Now, the platform does have an SEO center. You can even do SEO at a page level. So for those of you that are more advanced with SEO, eDirectory gives you so many opportunities to really take advantage of every SEO feature and functionality within the platform. Again, from down to the listing level and results level to the overall SEO of your directory website. So remember, content is king, and it should be the most fun part about it. Don't worry about, you know, is it going to be good quality, verbiage, right? Like, as far, I mean, obviously you want to write good quality things, but don't worry about creating that pressure on yourself to produce Mona Lisas every day, is what I'm basically saying. You know, your content is there for your industry, it's there for your members and your users. All that is important is that it makes sense, they understand it, and then it's meaningful, it has value, right? So, and it's going to go a long way for helping your site. So let's see, did I miss an option to add more than one video per listing? Interesting question, Greg. Um, I believe there is a mod for multiple videos per listing. I think the platform is designed to keep it simple, one video per listing in the YouTube link. However, in the description areas, I know you can post links there as well. But that's a really good question. And if you're interested in that, Greg, let us know. If anyone's interested in the multiple videos per listing, we'll do a special offer just for our webinar participants. I think right now on the website there's 50% off, but if you really, really want to edit, we'll work out a special deal for you today. So just let us know. I'll make a note of that as well. Multiple videos per listing. So yeah, take advantage. There's 50% off on the mods. If you want a little bit more of a deal to get that scheduled for your site today, let your account executive know. I know they'll be willing to make your day. So give us a chance, and I'm sure you'll be happy. All right, so moving on, we have content. Well, wow, I think I pretty much ran the gambit on content here, but so I'm sorry if I got a little bit ahead of myself. But I guess it does show content is very important. It provides a great opportunity to become the first stop for information seekers in your industry, and you want them to land on your site. And again, you want your members to share content too. So you know, there are so many benefits to it. We all know what it's like, and you know what? You don't have to necessarily create that one piece of content and it's done forever. You know, bring it back up, share it again on social media in a month or two. You know, make sure people have access to it, but that you're getting creative with your distribution too. You know, one time you put it on your Twitter, and then maybe next week you put it on your Facebook, and then now it's on your website. You can send it out in your email blast to remind people if they haven't checked it out. So all kinds of ways to not only inspire yourself to continue creating content, getting your members to continue creating content, because that will benefit you on the SEO front too. All right. What about featured company video on our main page? What about featured company video on our main page? That's a good question. If I understand that correctly, Chris, you essentially want to like feature, you have a featured company and you want their video to show up on your main page. You know, I think a really good workaround for that could be the custom content editor widget, where you can just add a widget of any kind of content. You might be able to just embed your YouTube link on that custom content editor. I'm going to actually, that could be a really good workaround too. You might not have to pay for the mod if you wanted to do that, but let me see here. Add a video to custom content widget on home page. So remember, we do have the new page editor. It allows you to make changes on the fly. And I want to make sure you have the opportunity to take advantage, right? So you have so much power at your fingertips here with the platform now to be able to make changes on the fly. Get creative with it, see what you can do, and of course, if you have any questions, our support team is always ready to jump on that for you. You also have your account executive too. All right. Is there an option for recording the source for the listing, a last updated date, and who has edited the listing history, all which can't be seen publicly? Michelle, that's a very good question. Is there an option for recording the source for the listing? You know what? I'm going to have to defer that to, we'll get back to that one in about 24 to 48 hours. But I love the questions. Please keep them coming. If we're not all here to learn, we're probably all just wasting time, right? So we never want that to happen. Okay, great. Thanks. An audit trail of some sort. That is a very good idea. Okay. So what that kind of sounds like to me is like a user activity log. An audit trail of some sort. Okay, cool. Well, I know in the platform you can create different users that can manage your site for you. And I want to believe that there is some sort of log or activity around that, but I don't want to say anything that's not 100% accurate. So user activity log for admins and listings, since Miguel mentioned for admins as well. That's a very good one. And you know what, guys? And gals, the purpose of these webinars is we want to learn what matters. And we have a custom development team here, so we put that on the list and it gets into the product. So without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much. Kind of Google Drive when updates. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so it sounds like we got that going. Let's see here. All right. Sorry about that. It looks like my teammate Emerson Travellini here is fast at work creating our Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. So we're going to get those out to you guys in the follow-up email. So you're probably going to get a couple of emails after this. One just saying thank you so much, might be automated. The next ones you're going to get are more in-depth, covering any questions we couldn't get to, a directory launch plan and marketing guide, fresh copy for you, and updates like this with a new group for us to all take part in there. So let's see, we have Dan. How do leads work? If a package is allowed 5, for example, is this 5 per month or a year? If they unlock more leads, is the process for unlocking more leads for them? Good question. Dan, I know that in this next development cycle, the leads engine is going to get a lot of TLC. So before I answer that, and I do want to make sure you have all the information you need on the leads, let me go ahead and just take a note on that, because I'm really excited about the next development cycle, guys. It's going to be a competition crusher here. Is there a glossary of terms used such as onboarding, classified deals, leads? Great question, Dennis. And Dan, I know I've seen you around here with some other really good questions at the supportdesk.com too, so really happy about that. Let's see, Dennis, where's yours? Onboarding, classified deals, leads, etc. All right. Glossary of terms. That is not a bad idea. That could be a really good blog post for us, right, Emerson? That's what I think we might do. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pause on getting to these questions. I'm letting myself get distracted here. We're gonna have an open question and answer forum, and you guys are gonna help us test this out, where you're gonna actually be able to speak. Everyone's gonna be able to hear you. So let's save a couple of these questions for the end there. And that way, I think we'll try something new. We'll open it up for a few minutes, and if not, we will get back to all of these questions within 24 to 48 hours. And we're going to have a new hosted page for these webinars. You can rewatch them, have some fun, refresh yourself on all these tips and tricks that we got here. All right, so invest wisely. It's really important to understand what your budget's going to be and how much you're going to spend. Now, I think part of really making sure that your first 25 members are the most important thing to you, that getting your first 25 paying members should be your biggest goal. Because, and even if they're not paid members, even if they're free members, those first 25 members are going to tell you so much about what you need to know, such valuable feedback that you're going to be able to use to invest your marketing dollars with a bullseye. And this is why we say invest wisely. You know, it's very, very easy to throw a lot of money at something and hope you're going to get something back. You know, even with Google search engine marketing, ad groups, landing pages, keywords you bid on, maximum bids, daily budgets, Facebook ads, you know, you can do a Facebook ad and target the whole world and watch $1,000 dry up in a second. So we don't want to see members do that. There are so many tools out there that are free to use. Social media is a great one. But before you make those investments, you want to make sure you understand things like your voice, who your members are, who your users are, right? Who's going to be on your site, who's going to be visiting your site. So basically, who's going to be producing, who's going to be consuming, right? And this is why we urge clients to invest wisely. You know, it's so easy to go on Fiverr.com and pay somebody to write you 20, 30, 40, 50 articles. But, you know, then you have to do quality assurance and make sure that you're getting a return on that investment. So you know, so by knowing your industry, knowing who the players are in your industry, doing your competitive analysis, trying to understand exactly the ecosystem that you're powering for your online members, that's going to really help you invest wisely. So the other great things about, let's say, Facebook ads or search engine marketing is that you can limit your budget to $5 a day, $1 a day, right? So when I say invest wisely, I mean dip your toe in before diving head first, right? Don't make a huge ad spend and then hope you're going to hit the jackpot or have 1 million people visiting your site, right? Because you want to do it slowly. You want to do small buys to get people in, manage the flow of traffic, make sure everything's tightened up, understand how you're going to help people get started in activating the different features and functionalities, offering them upgrades, things like that. So start slow, take small chunks, invest wisely. There's no need to spend a lot of money. With Facebook, you can get very, very, very targeted, very, very granular, and manage the flow as it comes in. Learn what you can from those members to make the adjustments that are actionable and that are going to pay off. Right. So my investment. How much investment required to start up a local business directory? Paul, that's a great question. And if it's a local business directory, you really have so many more options. Obviously, social media and search engine marketing are great ones. But, and I think that's going to bring us to our next point here. Shake hands, right? So that was great timing, Paul. Thanks so much. High five for you on that one. So step number 9 to creating a successful revenue generating directory is, and especially if you have a local community site, is you want to shake hands. You want to get to know people in your local area. Like we were talking about with the competitor analysis, you want to know who the players are in your industry. You want to make yourself available, right? You don't want to go to a party and just stand at the corner by yourself. You know, you have a website. The website can do a lot. You're here to serve a purpose. Get out there, shake hands, meet the people you need to do. If you're doing a directory about, let's say, a very specific service, where maybe you're a coach for people that are retiring and you're a retirement coach, right? People sometimes they don't know what to do when they're retired and they want to have a personal trainer or personal coach. So hey, find out who are the bloggers in this industry, who are the Facebook pages that have a lot of followers, who are the influencers, who are the ambassadors, what publishers are in the industry that are really beneficial, right? So going back to investing wisely, once you know what the major engines are in your industry, then hey, you know, maybe you go to that big publisher and you work something out. Obviously not trying to spend a lot, you want to invest wisely. But you can do things like a sponsored email blast for their members. You can do things like a sponsored social media post for them, where you're not spending a lot of money, but you're going to be able to track the responses from that. And with the platform, you can create a landing page. And with your Google Analytics, you can tag that page as being part of a campaign that you've done. So many ways to do it. And I recommend you take advantage of all of them. Don't try to do all of them. Start slowly, make small investments, learn what you can, and extrapolate your results and things that work well to other areas, right? So shake hands, get out there, don't be shy. You know, at the end of the day, the platform is designed to do a lot of your selling for you, so make sure it does exactly that. But make yourself available to other opportunities, partnerships, get creative. There's so much that you can do. Really, the sky is the limit. So don't limit yourself. You know, You have what it takes. The platform's ready to support you, and you have 50 people here at eDirectory.com, Brazil, one of our offices, to help you. Um, so yeah, don't be shy. Raise your hand if you ever need help. Let's see, how much investment required a local business directory? So again, Paul, there's so many things you can do. Um, I think you're going to learn by doing. Don't learn by spending, because that can be a recipe for disaster. And again, just talk to people, see what they're interested in, and you're going to start to figure out exactly what it is that works well for you. If there's places in your local area that are complementary to your directory, be a part of it. If there's a chamber of commerce, join it. If there's a Rotary Club, join it. Local businesses have so many opportunities. You can even go down to the municipal offices of the government buildings and say, hey, I want to be a part of whatever chambers of commerce, Rotary clubs, things, and they'll be more than happy, I believe, to point you in the right direction. So get out there, have some fun. As long as you're willing to learn, and not take things too personal. When someone gives you feedback, hey, you know what? You can make the changes you need. Everything is adaptable. Nothing is set in stone, especially on your directory website. So get out there, have some fun, and just be ready to learn some things and share in our new group that Emerson's creating for us in the LinkedIn area. Master Motivator. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll go to the last point here, number 10. And again, if you guys really like this topic, we can always do it every month. We can switch topics, so feel free to let us know. You know what? In the next survey, I'm gonna ask about that. What topics would you like to discuss? And next week we are doing an open forum. So I look forward to actually being able to hear a lot of you, a lot of the questions that you have, and that way we can make the most out of it. All right. So let me just do another quick statistic here. All right. People from all over the world. How exciting. This is great. So we'll move on to the last point here. Never stop working. And I apologize because I've been all over this. I've been all over this presentation, but it really shows that a lot of these things are all related, right? So never stop working. Understand again that your site is an evolutionary presence, right? Nothing is set in stone. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, you're going to make changes. Your community will tell you what they want, right? Just like you are all telling us here at eDirectory what you want. That's what we're here to do. If I'm not doing what you want, we're not doing the right thing. So never stop working, never stop learning, never stop growing. The platform is ready to support you. And while we're constantly working to make the platform stronger and better to make your life easier, there's so much that you can do to be growing your community. And don't forget to let your members help you grow your community. Let them know, hey, be sure to share your listing on social media. And then if you see them sharing their listing on social media, give them some bonuses, give them some freebies, give them some free banner ads. Reward the people that are helping you. Turn them into your brand ambassadors. Have some fun. At the end of the day, you're building something that's going to create recurring revenue online. It's a very unique business model, and it's why directories, especially membership communities, can be so fruitful, because there's so many different ways to make money. Not only affiliate links, membership dues, leads, banner ads, but once you have a large captive audience, you can connect your own Spotify store. It creates so many more opportunities. So just always be open to new things. Never stop working. Keep your pulse on the competitive environment. See what's new. See what's developing. See what you can apply, and don't ever stop having fun with it, right? Because we know that we plant a seed tomorrow, we'll be sitting under a shade of a tree in a year or so, and that's what your directory website is designed to do. I stole that quote from our Motivation Monday on social media. I believe it was Warren Buffett. So let's see here. We got some questions. Okay, so do you mean Shopify? Did I say Spotify? I think I did say Spotify. I did mean Shopify, Chris. Thank you so much. Wouldn't want to confuse anybody. You can't sell anything on Spotify, which is for listening to music. Although I like to listen to music in the morning to get myself motivated, so use Spotify for that. I love them. All right, so James, looks like we got some Scraping tools. Yes, there are a lot of tools you can use to scrape websites to get their member lists. A lot of those websites are like public. There are websites that'll do that for you. Um, there's a word for it that I just can't remember right now, but yeah, those are some options. Let's see, Carol, ETA on the next upgrade release. I don't have the exact details on the timeline of that, but I do have an idea of what's going into it. So I don't want to set any expectations I can't keep. But as you all know at eDirectory, we are constantly upgrading the platform on average at most every 6 months. So I know lately we've done a few more upgrades in the last 9-month period. I think we've done 3. But that's just because we are actually updating the entire infrastructure of the site from the back end, front, back, left, right, side to side. So that's what's making the app functionality much stronger. The new page editor feature that's really been just amazing. So many clients love it, and I know I do too. So is the eDirectory platform compatible with Shopify? Great question. We are creating a new mod. It's going to be a store on your eDirectory site. So that mod is part of the next cycle that we have. There's cycles for the mod store, and then there's cycles for the product and base code. So I want to make sure you manage your expectations here. Some things are obviously free if they go into base code. Some things might be mods because we want to test out and see how it works before we commit to that on a large scale. So just like investing wisely, start small, see what works. Don't blow your budget on things you think might work. And we try to do the same thing here at eDirectory. So we might get high demand for a certain feature, but we don't know if it'll have high adaptability. So before making it into base code, we tend to test it out in the mod store. And if people really like it, we can move more things from the mod store into the base code. So all right, Chris. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. Regarding special prices on the directory, do you have the option to view discounted prices? Interesting, Miguel. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. The option to view discounted prices. Miguel, if you have any questions about pricing or getting a special deal, your account executive, I know, will be more than happy to work something out for you. Right now is a really exciting time too. So I know we're doing a lot of special deals. The normal price is $200, but want to show the discounted is $12.20 so the customer can see it. That's a good question. So you're thinking about adding something on the website that actually shows people that maybe that particular membership listing is discounted. What I would recommend for that is you have the custom content editor, which is a widget you can put anywhere on that page. So you might want to add that to that page. And you can even create your own little banner ad that says, premium plans now $200 off. That could be a good workaround for that too. That way you have it up and running really fast. Of course, if there's anything specific you want us to add to your site, we have an in-house team. You always just go to the request a quote form, and we'll let you know exactly what you'll get for what you're paying for, how long it'll take, and when you can expect that live on your site. So that could be a good one there too. Remember, you also have promotional codes available in your directory platform. So part of your email marketing, people want to refer a friend, they want to get signed up on a special deal. You can do that. You're the boss. It's your site. We just want to make sure we power it for you. Hey, Sarah. All right. Actually, Sarah, that's a great question. Are there plans to have a mod that allows people to buy tickets for events? I can actually see the mod store things that they're working on, and it's on the board. I just can't promise it'll be in this next cycle or not, but that is excellent feedback. Chris was going to ask that. Looks like Sarah beat him to the punch. Saravanan, how you doing, buddy? Can users actually buy deals and tickets to events? So this is a really good question. At eDirectory, we try to picture clients having a directory website with like thousands of members, right? So if people are buying directly on the site, and let's say there's an issue, they buy a ticket to the event and the event gets canceled, chances are the person that bought the ticket on your site is going to come to you to complain about it. And we don't want our clients to be in the middle of transactions between members and users, because it can create a lot of customer service issues, and that's not what we want for you. So the platform, the way it's set up right now, is that you are essentially creating that community where minds come together, they meet, they interact, and you make money as easy as possible without getting into the nitty-gritty or the details between your members and users, right? So that's the logic behind why it's not available in the system. However, there has been a lot of demand for it. And keep in mind, there are also event-specific platforms out there like eventbrite.com, where if events really truly are a very important part of your business, you do have third-party event where you can link and put, purchase the ticket here. So try to think of ways where you can get what you need without having to, buy other softwares. Eventbrite can be free too. So for a lot of those things that are very specialty, right? Like if you're going to be running thousands of banner ads, you might want to use. Google has there's Ad Butler. There's DoubleClick for publishers for Google. That's kind of like a banner ad serving engine that our platform works great with. You can go right into the banner ads area and add those too. So our platform is designed to do a lot of things well, but not everything 1,000%, right? So just some things to keep in mind. You have everything you need, but of course, if you need something beefed up or activated or more features, we can also do those for you as well. If you decide it would be best to have that done on your site and not use some other platform for that need. All right, maybe API and Eventbrite. Yes, we do have an open API. Chris, thank you so much. That is a very, very good point. We have an API that connects with all kinds of things, so you're really not limited to eDirectory with what you can do, what you can connect with. Other platforms that do specific things a lot stronger than we do. Sorry, it's getting a little bit loud over here. A lot of excitement here at eDirectory today. Well, we have a new client from Brazil, Atacado Solar, that they're leading the charge on solar power in Brazil. So it's just really exciting. So sorry for the noise. I'll be sure to put myself into a webinar room next time, so you have a little bit more of me personally there. All right. So let me see here. We do have a few minutes left, and I want to make sure that we can cover some other items here. I wanted to do a quick little survey because I did promise that. So I created a couple questions, and I'd love to know what you think. One of my next questions is actually going to be, what topics would you like to discuss in our webinars? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create this poll here. Again, clickmeeting.com. I love, it's my new favorite friend. So let's see here. And this is my first go at this poll thing, so I'm sorry if it's not 100% or doesn't end up working. So which mods are you most interested in adding to your eDirectory site? We have the community font, the Google Maps tailored placement, the geo-targeted directory, or the CRM integration mod. So the CRM integration mod means like connecting Infusionsoft, Pipeline, CRM, Salesforce, Sugar. Google Maps tailored placement creates a tailored Google Map experience where you can have your own little icons for things on the map that are based on category too. So some really interesting things there. Geo-targeted directory. This is probably better for sites that are national in scope, where you, if a visitor visits from New York, the browser will detect their IP and will show listings or features that are in their area, right? So some really good options there. I'm just kind of curious to know which ones you're more interested in. It looks like we've only got, what is this? 4 out of 21 votes? Come on. Let me get a click. Let me get a click for which mod you're most interested in adding to your site. And the winner will get a special offer. Okay, so very good. I'll accept that. I'll end the voting here. Now we're getting a rush. All right. Well, thank you very much for those of you participating in the poll. Love it. And again, it's our first poll, so we're kind of test driving the platform. We're pushing the limits here, seeing what we can do, seeing what we have fun with. Most importantly, we're seeing what we learn, and that should be your focus for your directory website and really any venture. How much can you learn? What can you apply? And then how do you make sure it's still working after some time? Marketing automation, Miguel. Good question. So right now we have an opportunity to connect your CRM to the platform for some more advanced marketing automation. So that's one good opportunity there. But we're always cooking things up in the kitchen here about what other elements and functionalities we can add to the site. So that's a very good one. Nice to see the action happening in the background. All right, I like that too. Oh, actually, we've got a few. I didn't even realize. I'm so sorry. I thought that it was just asking this first question because I could only see the first question. Okay, so I just learned that. So we've got all kinds of questions here, and they all appeared once. I thought I'd have to do one and then the other, so my fault. What features of each would you like to learn more about? The app builder. All right. So I tell you what, I'm going to make a video. I'm sure you've seen the Getting Started videos. That's me and my teammate Emerson. I'm going to make a video about the app builder this week. That's my commitment to get that up and out to you. And what type of marketing are you primarily doing to build your online directory, your online community, social media like Facebook? Fantastic. And again, I'm sorry it's getting loud here. I'm going to make sure I lock myself in another room, but a lot of excitement here at eDirectory. So social media, that's fantastic. We actually released a blog article, 7 tips for using social media. So let me go ahead and add that to our follow-up email. So you guys are probably going to get a big meaty email after this, full of links. So be sure to check your spam folders because when those Gmails see all these links and things like that, they want to protect you. So just keep in mind. Excuse me. And so share article about social media marketing. All right. So, let's see. Moving forward in these webinars, we flow with presenting the topics and questions and answers we may have. All right. Oh, you guys aren't hearing the background noise. All right, Chris. So, this is our third webinar. The second one, I think we had to cancel because there was just a technical problem with Join.me. So I tried to share an agenda at the beginning to make sure we all kind of understand what we're going to be talking about. And in general, the flow would be probably me talking for 50 minutes, and then we're going to open it up for some questions. So I would like to hear one or two of you. We are going over our time, and I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you all have things to do, but I would love to go ahead and let me open this up for question and answer mode. Okay, so we've now opened it into question and answer mode. You can raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question, and we can go ahead and grant you the opportunity to open up your microphone and have us all talk. All right, Miguel, perfect. All right, Miguel, I'm going to go ahead and grant you a voice, and I'd love to know what you'd like to learn more about. Are you there, Miguel? Hola, Miguel.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Miguel.
My question was about offers, if they could be customizable, so we can have offers like a special product, to sell it independently. Because right now I can just offer listings and offers within, but some customers would like to have just offers or several types of offers. This
Sure.
would be one of the many questions I have.
All right, Miguel. Well, hey, thank you so much. So basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're looking at having like sort of customizable pricing plans. Is that right?
Not just that. I mean, the first, what was the price striked out so the customer could see it and take the decision, on the card, yeah, that they can see 199, but for today and tomorrow it's for 150, so they can make the decision sooner, And I don't think it would solve the issue with a banner, because the banner is outside the shopping experience. It should be within the shopping experience that the customer can see a striked out price. But the thing about the offers was more on the direction, if the offers that are on the listings could be made as a separate product, like articles banners, events,
Okay.
classified, and offers. Yeah.
Okay. So with the platform, you actually all of those features are designed to almost work independently. So yes, you can have a membership level just for articles, where if people want to join and just share articles, you can do that. So your pricing page will have plans for every different feature too. And then of course you can always put something on your pricing page that says, hey, if you're interested in any special options, just contact us, and that way you have an opportunity to learn more about specific plans and options people want for your community, and that can really help you modify your plans and pricing levels, what you give for what people get. So to answer your question, I think I'm probably going to shotgun answer that with a few different areas here too. So yes, you can have multiple pricing levels. I think default out of the box is 3 for any one module. So if you have your listings, I think I'm sorry, 4. 4 for the listings: bronze, gold,
Mhm.
silver, diamond. And then for any of the other ones like deals and events, I believe you get 3. Let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen with everybody here. I'm
Or
gonna.
package pricing, for example, let's sell one article, one listing, one event, and two banners in
Uh-huh.
a special package pricing. That would be great. So customers just buy one package and have the 4 different products within the package.
Mm, okay. And I'm sorry, Miguel. I got a little distracted. I'm trying to share my screen so I can actually go through this with you and go right into the back end and take a look ourselves. So it says that it is booting this thing up here. Let me go ahead and edit this. You can see I was using canva.com to create the presentation. I love that software. Canva.com. If you need to make social media arts, take a look at it. I think you're going to love it. They have all kinds of templates for social media posts. They have templates for creating images for blog articles. Okay, Miguel. So screen 1 is what we're going to actually, we'll go to screen 2. Go ahead and share screen 2 here, and we're going to go right into the site manager. Miguel, I want to make sure you can see. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you can see my screen all right, now we're talking about the configuration of pricing plans, right? So we have managed levels and pricing. So just like we were talking about here, you see how your listings, you can have out of the box up to 4 different levels. You can define what those prices are. And then now let's say for just your events, now there's up to 3 pricing plans for just the events. This is if people just want to do events, right? And you can define whether those are featured, popular, and whether or not they're active. So let's say one of them is not really doing well, and maybe people are saying, hey, I'm confused by all these pricing plans. You can just deactivate some of those too. So with that said, let's say you want to go over to your pricing page and you want to make some changes. Again, don't forget listing types, people. Huge, huge value. You can create specific types for specific types of members that are going to be a part of your community. We'll send more information about that. Now, geez Louise, here it is, design. So now you have the page editor, right? And so for the for the pricing page, just let us know if there's any specific things you want to do that you're having trouble with, as far as being able to, really showcase specific offers or promotions, and we'll be more than happy to help with that. Who is the best contact email to submit suggestions? You can always send those to marketing@eDirectory.com. All right. So thank you so much, Miguel. I'm going to go ahead and take the mic off now, but I hope I was able to answer your question, and if not, we will have some follow-ups about this shortly after, okay?
Okay.
All right, Miguel.
It was not the answer, because on the page you saw, it would be just great to have another column to have a discounted price, on
Ah,
the pricing and the page before you had. So the normal price would be that, and the discounted price would be that. So the customer can see that the normal price is, let's say, 200, and the discounted price is 150. On the same page you were, that we can put uh, um, four products together into
Mhm.
one package and see the package itself,
Sure. So
not
you
the
know what?
product.
You know what could be a good idea for you, Miguel? You can just create a whole new page, and it's called your promotions page, and you can put whatever you want on there, right? So this could be a good opportunity, and it might be something you're interested in. Without knowing too much about your specific site, you can create a whole new page entirely, and it's called promotions. And it's called Miguel's Directory / promotions. Now you have an actual page you can send people to. You can even create a special page that you don't even tell people about. Let's say it's for friends and family, and you want to call that VIP friends and family, right? And now you have a VIP friends and family page with very special promotions. So keep in mind you have a lot of tools, and if there's anything specific that you need assistance with, especially with your pricing page or any other options, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to get on that for you.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure, Miguel. Thank you so much for the question. All right, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and I wish I could have done a little bit more Q&A, but again, we're just getting started here. We're all kind of learning about how these webinars are going to be as awesome as possible. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this today. So many great questions. So much opportunity to just create more awesome here at eDirectory on our site and on your sites as well. So we take everything that we get, we put it all up on the wall, and we see what we can do. Looks like Carol wants to talk about a special price. That's great. So remember, you're going to be getting a special offer. You're going to get a follow-up email within about 24 hours with everything that you need. If you have any questions or you're just itching to add that today, send an email to your account executive. We're doing a special promo for anything and everything that you need, especially for bundles. So let us know what we can do to help. And thanks again for visiting, everybody. You'll get a few emails, and I'll see you in the next webinar. All right? Have a great day out there, and do not ever, ever, ever stop learning.